So apparently, when your economy crashes, your currency collapses, your people protest, the United States official response is, have you tried bombing it? Yeah, that's where we are. Donald Trump just said the US military is considering very strong options for Iran. And if that phrase sounds vague, threatening, and wildly open ended, congratulations, you understand American foreign policy. Let's talk about what's happening here, because this story has everything: protests, threats, billionaires with satellites, Greenland catching strays, and America once again acting like the world's unpaid HOA president. Iran is on fire right now, metaphorically. People are protesting because the Iranian rial is collapsing. Prices are soaring. Shops are shutting down. Internet is blacked out. And when citizens say, hey, life is unaffordable, their government responds with a classic authoritarian combo pack. You're a terrorist, also no Wi-Fi. And Trump sees this, and his first instinct is in diplomacy. It's not humanitarian aid. It's not, wow, maybe sanctions have consequences. No. Trump shares protests in Iran and goes, gentlemen, warm up the jets. He's on Air Force One, the most expensive Uber in human history, telling reporters we are looking at some very strong options. Strong options? That's not a policy. That's a protein powder flavor. And then he adds, they want to negotiate, but we might act before the meeting. Bro, that's not negotiation. That's texting someone, let's talk, and punching them while the message is still sending. Iran, understandably, does not love this vibe. The parliament speaker basically said, if you attack us, everything you own becomes a target. That includes U.S. bases, ships, allies, which is Middle East diplomatic language for touch us and this group chat goes nuclear. And this is where history should kick in, because every time America hears Middle East instability, we act like we're auditioning for a sequel nobody asked for. Remember Iraq? Remember Afghanistan? Remember Libya? Yeah. Turns out regime change sounds way better in PowerPoint than in real life. But here's where the story goes from geopolitical crisis to Silicon Valley fan fiction. Trump casually says he might call Elon Musk to restore internet in Iran. That's right. Foreign policy now includes, let me just text Elon. At this point, the State Department is basically a group chat with a billionaire who builds rockets for fun. Starlink, Elon's satellite internet, has already been used in Iran before. And look, internet access is important. It helps people organize. It helps them tell their stories. But when the solution to a sovereign nation's crisis is space Wi-Fi daddy, you have to ask, are we helping or are we soft-launching cyber colonialism? Because from Iran's perspective, this looks less like humanitarian support and more like first the internet, then the drones. Now, just when you think the story can get more unhinged, Trump also talks about Venezuela and Greenland in the same conversation. This man treats global affairs like an open-world video game. Venezuela, he says oil companies will be safe now, because apparently the secret ingredient to political stability is vibes. And Greenland, Trump straight up says the US is going to get it, by deal or by force. By force. My guy, it's an island of 56,000 people and a lot of ice. You're not buying land, you're shopping for monopoly properties. And then he says Russia and China have submarines all around Greenland. And Greenland's defense is 2 dog sleds, which is disrespectful, because those dogs are probably unionized and better trained than half the world's armies. Here's the real issue. Trump doesn't see these as separate stories. Iran, Venezuela, Greenland, to him they're all the same thing. Assets, places to pressure, leverage, own, control. It's foreign policy as real estate. And protests are just a buy low signal. But here's the danger. When you treat real human suffering like a negotiating tactic, people die. Iranian protesters aren't chess pieces. They aren't excuses for sanctions, strikes, or regime fantasies. They're people saying, we can't live like this anymore. And every time an outside power jumps in with military threats, authoritarian governments get exactly what they want: an external enemy to blame. Nothing unites a shaky regime faster than a foreign missile. Look, America loves saying it stands for freedom. But freedom doesn't come from fighter jets. It doesn't come from cyber weapons. And it definitely doesn't come from billionaires flipping the internet switch on and off like it's Netflix. Real support is boring. It's slow. It's diplomacy. It's accountability. It's not sexy enough for cable news. But war is clickbait. And right now, this whole situation feels like the world is one bad decision away from becoming a YouTube thumbnail with red arrows and fire emojis. So here's the real question. Is the US trying to help Iranians? Or is it just addicted to being the main character? Because every time America says, we have very strong options, the rest of the world cheers. Brace yourselves, the sequel is coming, and trust me, nobody wants to watch that movie again.